to observe, and we have to give these folks that we deal with, whether they're an offender, and you babysat their child, or you're that neighbor that hears some crashing and some banging and some hollering and some kids crying, and I literally lived across the street. At one point in time in our domestic violence court program, my next door neighbor and my across the street neighbor were both participants. And because I knew them, I said, Dave, the little punt, they're yours. But let me give you a little background. Because that background is sometimes crucial in not only helping that victim, but giving that offender just what we need to help. I don't believe any human being outside of those horrible cases that we read about. I don't believe that any human being wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I love her, I've got 3 kids with her, I think I'm gonna thump her today. I think I'm gonna tell her she's a piece of garbage, and I think I'm just gonna see where we go with that. I don't think there's always intent there. There's trauma, there's history, there's something that has led this person to become that person that hurts somebody that they care about, or that has children, these babies that they care about. So some of the things that I practice when I deal with the victims, with the prosecuting witnesses, with those people that have survived, some of the things that I deal with or that I practice in dealing with the offenders, they're the same skill set. I listen. I ask a question and I wait for an answer. It might be a 1-word answer. It might be a 20-minute litany on what she's experienced for 4 years with this guy. I watch, is she emotional? Because sometimes I think we look at somebody, they're telling us, and they're totally flat. They're crying silent tears. There's no expression. There's no, what I say, sobbing, where you can physically see them crying. There is a pattern of behavior, I think, that we can see. Sometimes it's an escalation where you see her getting more emotional, or you see her or him. It's just so easy to say her, because most of our victims, most of the people being abused are females. And I have several female offenders on my caseload. Actually, if we transition into the special unit supervision, I will be keeping the female offenders, because we do believe that female offenders should be supervised by a female officer. You know, I've been a victim of physical abuse. I still have a shoulder that if I hadn't taken a step up when that roundhouse was coming, if I hadn't taken that step up, would have fractured my jaw. But I still have shoulder issues because of that hit I took. That my son, who turns 30 today, and has a 3-month-old daughter who I know now looks differently at the world. Boy, is she cute. Anybody wants to see pictures, I show her. He was 15. He was 3 when it happened, and I didn't know he was standing there. His older brother saw it. He told me when he was 15, and I said, Bob, why didn't you tell me? And he looked at me, and I get a lump in my throat. He's 30 today, so it was 15 years ago. And he said, Mom, I didn't want to make you cry. So how many of our moms and our dads are dealing with these babies that they don't want to cry? So we've got the collateral damage. We can help these folks by listening.